Hey everybody, Hugo from the Homeowners Union here, and this week what we're going to talk about is buyer representation. And some people think that's a relatively new thing in real estate. In fact, buyer representation has been around for about 20 years, just shy of 20 years. But it's still sort of a strange concept when it comes to real estate. So I'm just going to explain, if you're a buyer, what advantages and disadvantages there are to signing or not signing a buyer representation agreement. So, a lot of people get their back hairs up about, signing anything. I don't want to commit to anybody, or, I'm just going to work with a number of agents, and whoever brings me the best property first, I'll work with them. That's fine, but the problem becomes is that when you're working with a real estate agent, there's two levels of service they provide you. They provide you either customer service or client service. And the only way they can provide client service is by having you sign a buyer representation agreement. Now, in any real estate transaction, there must be agency. What this means is if you haven't signed a buyer representation agreement, you are not your agent's client, you are their customer. Now, they must have a client in a negotiation. So if you're their customer and you begin entering into a real estate negotiation, the seller of that home automatically becomes your agent's client, and all of their legal obligations pass to that seller. So anything that you've discussed with your agent, they're legally obligated to disclose that to the seller because they're now their clients. Pretty scary, right? Well, a lot of us don't know that. The other thing is that legally they can't provide you, if you're not their client, they can't provide you any advice. They're not obligated to help you get financing or anything like this. Whereas if you do become a client, all that responsibility is to you. And now they're representing your best interests. So if you're not their client, legally they need to be negotiating for the best interest of the seller. If you have signed a buyer representation agreement, terrific. Your agent can now work in your best interest legally, and they're protected and they don't have to worry about a thing. So really, at the end of the day, it is to your benefit to sign a buyer representation agreement. And my advice is to find an agent that you trust and feel will do a good job for you and get that signed so that you have somebody going to bat for you that's in your court and is legally obligated to do all the things to ensure that you have a smooth and successful transaction. The last thing is that if you're truly concerned, this is something that I do with my clients, is that I provide a service guarantee. So along with the buyer representation agreement, I'll sign a service guarantee saying that these are the things that I agree to, and if I don't live up to the service that I said I would provide, I'll sign a mutual release and break that agreement at any time without any questions asked. So if you're not happy with the service that I'm providing, I understand, and I'll let you out of the agreement, and you can go and feel free to work with somebody else. So I hope that little tidbit helps, and remember, we're in this together.